So I'm going to invite my panelists one by one. I'd like to first invite Mr. Ajoy Balakrishnan, Vice President of the Balwa Group. Thank you so much for joining us here in Sikkim. It's a privilege to have you. I look forward to the insights that you will provide. And now, a very close friend of mine, we are both Aspen Fellows, Mr. Jamal Sheikh, who's a senior journalist, having led from the front so many interesting magazines and newspapers. Currently, he is starting something very interesting, which I'll ask him about later. So, Jamal, thank you for joining us. Now, from home, from Sikkim, I'd like to welcome our own Madam Karmadi Yutso, Secretary, Commerce and Industries Department, Government of Sikkim. Thank you so much. Last, but very important, critical to what Sikkim needs, Mr. Subhakar Rao, IFS, Additional Chief Secretary, Tourism and Civil Aviation Department, Government of Sikkim. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. So the topic is invest in Sikkim. Now, if we had discussed invest in Sikkim about 20 years ago, then perhaps many would quote from a very famous line from the gangs of Vasaipur. My very close friend Tigmanshu Dhulia, who plays the Vidhayak, says these lines. Does anybody know that famous line from the gangs of Vasaipur? Anyone? So he says in one of the scenes, "Tumse na ho paega." So that would have been the scene 20 years ago. But now, as Sikkim has grown from in the last 50 years, I would also like to acknowledge each chief minister who has brought in a special skill set and added to the growth of Sikkim, be it roads, be it schools in every corner of Sikkim, be it growing tourism, be it organic Sikkim, which has made Sikkim a brand. So every tenure, the chief ministers have added to what Sikkim has to offer. And now, as we go into the next 50 years, ably led by our current Chief Minister, Prem Singh Tamangole, he set Sikkim on a path which perhaps will set into motion our next growth stage. And what that growth stage will be, how it will be defined, and where we will go, I think we've got a very able set of panelists to answer. First, I would like to go to our lady in the house, Secretary Ma'am. The first question I would like to ask, since the topic is invest in Sikkim, is that Sikkim is not covered under the Companies Act. So hence, even for startups, it's very difficult to get investment if you are registered here in Sikkim because, question of transparency and everything comes in. How are you navigating around that to truly bring companies into Sikkim?
Good afternoon to everybody. I hope I'm audible because when I was sitting in the audience, I could not hear many of the speakers. So I'm audible?
Closer.
Okay. Because Mr. Pema Wangchuk kept on saying you have to be kind of a, singer to hold the mic, which I'm not. So, okay, let's come to the serious topic. Like you said, Sikkim does not come under the purview of the Companies Act of 2013, which was amended, So the recent one is the Companies Act of 2013. But we have our own old law, if I may say so, the Sikkim Registration of Companies Act of 1961. So what we do is, the companies that we have registered over here, it's not registration in Sikkim as such. What they can do is, they can register in any part of India. And so that makes them a company as an entity. So most of the companies are doing that. Besides, there is another thing which they can do. They can get the license from the Gantok Municipal Corporation. So that will also make them an enterprise. So that till date we are doing that, and so we are going about in that way. So in 2021, a committee was also formed by the government to see the, if I may say so, the midway between the Companies Act of 2013 and the Sikkim Registration of Companies Act of 1961. So we are looking into that. The committee was headed by the retired judge, Justice S.P. Wongdi, and they are more or less, they have completed with the recommendations, and we'll have to see. But as of now, we will, Sikkim at 50, we will stick to our old law, I think.
And there's also a very ambitious new industrial policy, which I will come back to you about. Mr. Balakrishnan, I'd like to bring you in. So she talked about the legal bottlenecks that are there. With these legal bottlenecks in place in Sikkim just now, and your company has invested across India, if you were to invest in Sikkim, what are you looking at? You know, how will you do it if you were to invest?
Okay. I think every hotel company, like I have a hotel company which has invested, as well as hotels across the sector, whether it's a Radisson, a Marriott, as well as a Sarovar. Everybody looks at A, ease of doing business, B is return of business. I mean, what are you getting back from them? If I'm investing about 100 crores, will I get back that money within the timeline, and how long will it take for me to get it back? Banks, we depend on banks to invest. So if the legal process, if the process of getting all the paperwork in place, if that is made easier, investment becomes easier for me. And of course, we all know that tourism is a big sector which has a lot of potential in the country. We are still about 7 to 8% of the GDP that tourism is getting to this. Everybody knows that it can easily double or triple in the next 10, 15 years. And that's what the focus is. And if we can do ease, if we can invest money, and we have guarantee that it is safe, nobody will have any problem in investing.
Are you going to invest 100 crores in Sikkim?
If I get 300 crores in the next 4-5 years, why not?
In 4-5 years, you'll invest in Sikkim.
If I get 300 crores back in 4-5 years, why not?
No, on a serious note, considering the success of some of the hotels here, especially the Mayfair groups, you know how soon they broke even. If you were given an opportunity, how soon would you hypothetically invest in Sikkim?
These are things that we need to go back and check what are the implications and what we can do to invest.
Okay.
If I may add so, this is for the information of everybody, you know. When we started the NEEDS, Northeast Investment and Industrial Policy of 2007 and NEEDS of 2017, NEEDS is still going on, and I think you've taken incentives under NEEDS, right? So when you look at the incentives, of course they'll invest and they'll come. But now we've come to almost the end of that policy, you know, the NEEDS policy of 2017. So now we have another one to replace NEEDS, that is Unnati. So again they can come for that if you are looking only for incentives. But now, like respected Dr. Lama also said, we should look beyond incentives, you know, when you are investing in Sikkim. So there are other perspectives which are there for the investors to gain from.
Right. Certainly. So when a pure investment comes, minus the subsidies, minus everything, that's when you know that a state or a place has truly arrived. Like take, for example, the expansions that Tata is making on semiconductor plants across India and one in Assam. On that point, Mr. Rao, critical because your sector is one of the sectors which is still very attractive to investors, which is tourism and civil aviation. There you're a little handicapped because the one airport you have has not really seen the light of day properly. So if you are so handicapped that your national highway is out of commission for 2 months, 3 months on end at critical top seasons, how do you expect investors to even put a lens on Sikkim? Isn't that a challenge for you?
So, thank you, Karma sir. First of all, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Press Club of Sikkim for giving this great opportunity. Then I'm also extending good afternoon to all the distinguished guests present here. So today, Karma Sahib, he has raised very valid and some problematic points. That is very, very true. We are expecting good investors to come and invest because ours is a unique place. They have very good opportunities. A dedicated some support will be there from the government side. Very proactive and stable government we have. But at the same time, we have to provide the basic needs to the investors. So first one is transportation. Road connectivity, that NH10. NH10, that is only the lifeline. But most of the times that is getting disconnected. So our government, they are putting continuous efforts. Some few months back, Honorable Chief Minister, he made a promise. Mr. Rao, you see, there will not be any problem from 1st Jan 2026 onwards for NH10. We are putting all our efforts to transfer that asset from West Bengal PWD to NHIDCL. That initiative he has taken up, then that has already materialized. NHIDCL, they are working, very seriously working. All the 24 hours they are working. Some teething problems will be there. This is the transition stage. Then we, after completing some 2-3 months, we are going to get very proper road. That is one thing. Second thing, regarding the connectivity, airport, that is just like a white elephant. Though it was inaugurated by Honorable Prime Minister in the month of September 1998. That was the 100th airport, but it is not under operation. Despite of our continuous efforts, we are continuously having meetings with the Ministry of Civil Aviation. Our Honorable MP Indrahan sir is here. I think he might have visited more than 10-15 times to the Ministry of Civil Aviation. So despite of having these efforts, they have given that responsibility to SpiceJet. SpiceJet, they are not in a position to operate any flight, not only in Sikkim. You can see their condition in the remaining places. So for operating, for Pakyang Airport, they need Bombardier Q400. Bombardier Q400, that is very powerful engine, okay? That is ATR kind of thing only. But for operating that one, except SpiceJet, no other airlines have that aircraft. Bombardier, only SpiceJet is having Bombardier Q400. That's why no other airlines, they are not interested to take up the operations. Even if they take up that operations, ATR, they can operate, but they can take only 50% of the load, not the full load. If it is Bombardier, then they can take 100% load. But in case of ATR, remaining ATRs, it is not possible to take up that load. That's why if you see the financial cost-benefit analysis side, that is of not at all viable and feasible to take up those operations with the ATRs. That's why time and again we are asking. We have very recently Muralidharan Moholi. He visited Sikkim. That time Honorable MP sir, our Honorable Minister, T.T. Bhutia sir, jointly they have submitted one representation wherein they made two proposals. First one, you please expand the runway length. Present runway length, that is only 1.75 kilometers. If they expand another 1 kilometer, then Boeing also can land in Sikkim. That is the first option. We have given it to them. Second option, we requested MOCA to request Air India to buy one Bombardier Q400 and start operations for Pakyang. They said, no, Rao, they may not be interested like that. They are not so active. But our MP Saab, our government, they are pursuing. Very soon we are going to have good connectivity. You have rightly raised these points. I am requesting you to pursue this matter. All the media personals, they are here. If they take up this matter seriously, definitely government of India will also be convinced. Then buying one aircraft for Sikkim with 200 crore rupees, that is not a major deal for the government of India. Thank you.
So, sir, additional question. It's a tabletop runway. And even if we install CAT 3B landing system, which is there in Delhi, which aircraft can land in zero visibility,
Yeah.
for a tabletop runway, even with CAT 3B installed, you cannot land an aircraft because it comes under VFR, which is the visual flying rules. So do you think that investing so much money into this airport was a waste of the taxpayers' money?
I don't think so. Whatever facilities you are talking about, that is under trial. That is under trial. Then DGCA, they are going to approve after completing some particular period, maybe after 6 months. That is under trial. Some few airports, they are using this facility, but particularly for Pakyang, they are asking some after getting those results, then they are going to plan for that. But having proper connectivity, it is better to have Boeing in future. In future, we have to have Boeing, for which we have to expand the runway.
Right. Now I'll bring in my next panelist, Jamal. It's interesting why he's here, because Jamal has the ear of the rich and the famous of India, having led magazines like HT Brunch, Men's Health. He asked me to model for Men's Health long time back. And I'm quite embarrassed of my pictures.
With his shirt off.
Yeah, it was Rahul Shiv Shankar, me and Rahul Kanwal. We had to model for his Men's Health magazine and Discovery Channel. So he's very well placed and he knows what the rich and the famous of India are thinking. Jamal, one, to make Sikkim a luxury destination. We are a destination, but if we are to raise the level and make Sikkim a luxury destination, that's one question. Although we have one Taj Guras Kutir, which is a very premium hotel, what does Sikkim have to do? One, to get that kind of investment, and also to attract the kind of people who can hire a helicopter from Bagdogra and come directly.
Thank you, Karma, and thank you for having me here. I am indeed honored to be here. It is not my first time in Sikkim. I have been here before. But I must say that first and foremost to every Sikkimese present here, congratulations on the 50th year of statehood. It is indeed a great time to be Indian. The world is looking at India. I today run magazines like The Hollywood Reporter and Esquire in India. And it's amazing how, as an Indian journalist and as an Indian editor, we used to first get helped by the foreign publications to do good stories here. Today, our stories from India are the talk of town in Hollywood. India is the center of the world. It's great to be Indian. As Sikkimese people, we should be proud we are here. And congratulations on the 50th statehood again. I first came here...
Great time to be an Indian, but is it a great time to be a journalist?
That's a different panel altogether, Karma. So I first came here in 2021. And I took an airline that I don't usually like very much, SpiceJet. I landed at Pakyong, and incidentally on my flight was also Baichung Bhutia, who I knew as the football captain. We met again here, and we landed at Pakyong. I stayed at Mayfair. had a great few days, looked around at the kind of organic, real, unique individuality you look for when you travel to a new place. You travel today all over the world, and sometimes you land at an airport and you see a W.H. Smith or you see a relay and you don't know which country you've landed in or where you've landed. Sikkim has so much individuality. I had a fantastic 4 days here. I met Dilip Ray, the owner of Mayfair, and told him, listen, this is set to boom. In a couple of years, you need to add more rooms, you need to have more hotels, you need to cash in on this huge influx of tourism, high-end tourism that's going to come into Sikkim. Unfortunately, when I came this time, it took me 6.5 hours to get from Bagdogra to Sikkim. It took me 12 hours door to door from Delhi because of the added security measures. We had to reach the airport early, etc. And that is way too long. I hope that at the end of this session, along with these 50-year celebrations, we introspect and we see what is it that we need to do to make that connectivity happen. Without that connectivity, we are cut off. See, there are two ways, Karma, today, and you will agree. One is the physical connectivity, where we need to physically be at a place. The second is the information technology, right? Post-COVID, in the last few years, we've seen that accelerate. Right? We see today, you don't have to physically be in a place to participate in a meeting. You could be doing a Zoom meeting sitting in a remote part of Africa, right? I can see the information technology and those barriers have dropped. And I can see great talent from Sikkim shine in different parts of the country. I know we have the biggest superstar sitting right here, but today I'm more happy to have another Karma on stage, and definitely the more glamorous one.
We are cousins.
That doesn't make me like you anymore. She's still the star. But let me tell you, as people from here, you are sitting on gold. I did a little walk around the center of town yesterday. Homes, schools, hospitals have views people pay thousands of dollars to rent out, to be part of. The minute we have basic infrastructure in place, this place will be flooded with super high-end tourism that not only the people from different parts of the country, but also other people from other parts of the world will want to come and cherish.
You still haven't answered my question, but I'll come back to my question later once again. Now, since you've left on people, super rich people coming to Sikkim, we will get fantastic hotels. But Mr. Ajoy, the problem again, we will have top-class hotels here, but then, the human resource is a huge challenge. Our children, our youth, some of them who are already trained, don't want to work. Or some of the hotels prefer chefs and your hotel managers from outside. How do you change that? How do you see that your hotel staff, wherever your hotels are, I don't know whether they are, have local resources gainfully employed?
Of course, COVID unfortunately made a lot of people scared of things. They went back and didn't want to come back. So 2 years or 3 years, what COVID did, it damaged a lot of mental working of people. They were scared to come out of their homes. They were scared to go out and work. I think things are coming back to normal. Seeing how hospitality is growing now, a lot of people, in fact, I go and interview a lot of students in colleges. I'm happy to say now things are galloping. People want to work now. It is no more that they want to sit home and just enjoy. I'm happy to know that Sikkim has 60% tourism is their main economy. And people who want to work, they will work. And local talent will only grow. Once you have established brands, whether it's a Marriott, a Radisson, a Taj, it will only start growing. Once people know that you can grow and there's learning that is there from there, I think there's no dearth of local talent. and people will want to stick back and work. What we're seeing in cities, since there's so much of influx and so much traffic and everything in that place, I mean, things are so expensive in a city like Mumbai and Delhi. For a person from Sikkim or from other places to go and work there, it's very difficult for them now. So they will definitely want to come back, and if they have something really nice happening here, why would they want to come to cities and work?
A quick follow-up. In your properties, how much of the percentage of workers are local and how much are from outside? Average.
It varies from city to city. Like a place like Goa, it's only 20 to 30% is local, rest 70% is from outside. I don't know what it is here, whether it's the same way or it's vice versa. But like in Mumbai, it's definitely a good 70 to 80% is local. And only 20 to 30 at the most is coming from outside.
Madam Secretary,
May I add one thing?
Okay.
Permitted or not?
Permitted.
Yeah, please. Thank you, Balakrishnan ji. You have given some good inputs. But here, whenever you are finalizing the package,
Secretary sir, closer, mic closer. Yeah.
Close. Whenever you are deciding the package, you have to take the local conditions into consideration. That is very important. Here we have Institute of Hotel Management that is there in Room Tech. This is very near to this place. So one institute we are running, wherein the actual intake capacity of our intake that is 103. But we are getting students only 23, 24 students. We are getting only 23, 24, not more than 25. Okay, that many students we are getting after completing 3 years of course. Maybe they are spending around 5 lakh rupees to complete that course. Fee structure and some other hostel facilities, they are very, very costly. After spending that much of amount, 100% placement is there. But in that placement, they are offering 15,000 to 18,000 rupees at the time of provision. Then after that, it may be increasing 18,000 to 20,000. That is very, very less. Here, if you see the local conditions, our minimum wage is 15,000 rupees. Then you are saying that our students, they are interested to go to Mumbai, Delhi, or wherever you are posting, they are interested to go there. They want to render their services there. But the thing is, that package is not lucrative. Then no one is taking any interest. Even if they are joining in some hotel campus selection, they are leaving that job after not even completing some 1 year of period. They are leaving that job. They are again trying locally. If they work 4 years with us, in between we have the provision of sabbatical leave, wherein one person he can take leave and he can pursue some other activities. If he is succeeding there, he can leave. Otherwise, he can come back. His seniority will be continued, and within 4 years, he will be regularized. Those facilities are there. That's why, though they are trained in a particular field in this hotel service sector, they don't want to continue in that profession unless until you increase that package. That is my submission to you. Please look into that in future. If there is any possibility, please try to increase their packages.
I'll just add on here. Of course, hotels are known as kind of slave drivers, or that's what we are known as. But things are changing rapidly. The growth that is happening in hospitality is so fast. I started my career 35 years back in the Oberoi, Mumbai. It took me 5 years to grow from a junior level to a supervisory level. If you take the current scenario, less than 1 year, people come back and people grow. So yes, the salary is still not there, but the growth is superb. We have general managers who are just 12 to 15 years old. It took me almost 20 years to become a general manager. So it's coming down, and growth is faster. And I think the students now are understanding also. And that's what I'm saying. The people are coming back. Students are coming back. They are wanting to come in hospitality now.
Madam Secretary?
Yeah, I wanted to add something. I may sound a bit contradictory also, but as far as the hospitality sector is concerned, the trend is changing. Our youngsters are coming forward. They want to work and they have the requisite qualification also, be it from inside the state or whether they have studied from outside. So, the credit also goes to the government for the capacity building programs that are being held under various flagship programs, So even for a department like Commerce and Industry, we have capacity building programs in various sectors. So that is also helping. So our youth, our local youth, they are coming particularly in the hospitality sector. And I'm sure every one of you will agree with me, the Sikkimese people are naturally hospitable. So that should come naturally. So the trends are changing. It's not that the locals are no longer interested in doing this job or coming into the hospitality sector. So if you see in the hotels also, you'll see more number of locals being employed, especially after the COVID pandemic. The people who were outside working outside the state, they have come now, come to their homes, and even if the pay package is a little bit lesser, you know what they think? Oh, from the comfort of our homes, if we can work, then even if the pay package is a bit low, we are okay with it. So the trend is really changing.
And I think it's also got to do with, knowing what you want to do. Many of our youth, Jamal, are pushed into careers where maybe they do not want to go. So the trend here is that the brightest students will take science and either become doctors or engineers. The rest of the lot is left to pursue arts. And the rest of the lot who can't do, maybe they'll go for technical engineering. Even with capacity building, the problem is that the same 10 youth from a particular village will attend capacity building of commerce, they will attend agriculture, they will attend everything. Every time I see the same 10, because, we don't have so many people. So Jamal, there lies the challenge.
Yeah, no, Karma, I agree completely. Obviously, the growth of a region needs to take its youth along. And groups like the Marriott and some of the others that you mentioned need to have dedicated programs to make sure that the youth from a region maybe get exposure in different parts of the country and come back over here so that they can lead they'll know this place better. But also from your point of view and from the point of view of a tourist, right? What are the big tourist destinations in the world and in India, and what have they done wrong? If you see Rajasthan right now, there's this great case of over-tourism, where everything is being oversold. It is almost gimmicky and packaged in a caricature kind of way. As a state, as a region that is on the cusp of getting to the heart of tourism, to get into the hearts of people, today the hotels and the tourist participants should make sure that the organic heart of Sikkim remains intact, and that will happen with local people contributing to businesses.
Yes, very interesting point that you raised, Jamal. Because it's very easy to get confused with what you are trying to attract the tourists for. The classic case is Goa. You can see how Goa, the tourism crashed, despite the kind of infrastructure there. Somewhere they went wrong. So Mr. Rao, as you're heading tourism, what is your philosophy? How do you want Sikkim to be known to the rest of the world?
Tourism, as Madam said, Karma Madam, natural hospitality that is there in our people. You take any community, any remotest area, they know how to treat our guests, how to treat the tourists. That is there. Communal harmony, no need to discuss. We are the model for communal harmony. But though we have three different cultures, three different traditions, but if there is any problem, we all are together. That is the beauty of the state. Tourists, they are coming to take our hospitality. That is the beauty. One example I want to give. Just a few minutes back, you said there is no proper highway or approach, connectivity. Despite of having 2.5 months discontinuity of NH10, that is our lifeline, we almost received the targeted tourist footfall. Last year's target was 20 lakh. Then we got 16,25,000 tourists, despite of 2.5 months closure of national highway. That is the beauty, that is the attraction, that is the reputation our people, they have created for the state of Sikkim. That is there. Whoever are going back, they are giving very good reviews. If they are रहते तो ये computer में कुछ काम करने के लिए कुछ उनका आदत है, we are getting very, very good reviews. Then they are publishing, free publicity is there. Then in addition to that, our Honorable Chief Minister is very popular Chief Minister. He is our pace. We are no need to go for publicity. Last time there was a meeting in the presence of Jyotiraditya Scindia sir. All the Northeastern Chief Ministers, they were there. That time, our Honorable Chief Minister, he made a proposal. So I am not asking separately some financial support for publicity and some marketing for the state of Sikkim. Collectively, we have to do this business. Collectively, you please take it for entire Northeast, then give some amount. Otherwise, you take up that marketing and publicity of Northeastern states. That's what he suggested. All the chief ministers, they agreed. Scindia sir also, he also agreed. Then very recently, you might have seen the crowd for reaching Manipal Hospital to 0 point. One has to spend minimum 45 minutes. That is the minimum time required. Any time, if you are traveling before 6 a.m. or after 9 or 10 p.m., that timing is different. But in normal course, one has to spend 45 minutes, okay, to reduce that crowd, to reduce the traffic. Then he suggests us to come out with tourism circuits. 3 tourism circuits we are proposing. One is going to start from Namchi, another one is going to start from Sorang, then we are covering Lachen and Lachung, all these places. Lastly, they are going to reach Gangtok. From Gangtok, they are going back. But otherwise, in the present scenario, they are coming to Gangtok, they are going to the places where destinations, whichever they have selected. Again, they are coming back to Gangtok. Twice or thrice, they are visiting Gangtok. That's why there is a huge crowd and a traffic jam in the city of Gangtok. That's the thing. But otherwise, for tourism, only the thing is, if you see, just I'm taking 2-3 minutes extra. If you see the present condition, we have the capacity to accommodate 52,000 of tourists in a day. That is our carrying capacity. That may be the homestays. 1,908 homestays are there. They are registered. Then 1,170 hotels are there. Then another 28 star category hotels are there. But only the thing is the accommodation we are providing. Star category accommodation, that is very, very minimal. We are in a position to provide star category accommodation to 2,500. Only 2,500 proper accommodation facilities are there. Remaining, they are not under star category, but we have very good resorts they are there. Since we have good carrying capacity, we have the capacity to have the tourists around even Saal mein to 50% of the days, even if you calculate, then that into 52,000. Then definitely we are going to handle some 75 lakh tourists. But the present, this year, our Honorable Minister, he decided to have the target of tourist footfall, that is only 25 lakhs. I am very much sure we are going to achieve the target. But only the thing is, we have to have good infrastructure, good connectivity. Without having both the things, I don't think it is possible to retain this identity. Then we cannot get the sustainability, whatever way you are going to talk, that is not possible.
Thank you, Rasab. Those numbers are heartening. It's great to hear those numbers. You talked about the tourism circuits. Now, when I'm traveling around Sikkim, I see a lot of infrastructure which has been built by the tourism department, the wayside amenities and all this and all. More than, I think, 70% of these amenities are rotting, windows broken, nobody is taking care of it. How much money has been wasted in these infrastructure projects, sir?
But you are also in the government. Tali ko na bajano, mo akli bayal susma dete ho. Isma, yes, Karma sahab, that whatever you are talking, that is the reality. We have around 193 or 200 numbers of some assets. 193 assets we have. Okay, all over Sikkim. Okay, out of this 193, we have leased out so many assets. they are not in a good, few of them they are in good condition, few of them they are not in a good condition, because the tenure given to them, that is 5 to 10 years, in some cases that is more than 30 years. So definitely we are expecting the lessee to incur some expenditure to go for facelifting of that asset. Those things are happening. But at present, right now, 43 assets, we are not in a position to lease out. Exactly 43. Very recently, I have written to all the honorable MLAs of that locality. Then I sent one letter to the concerned district collector to put those asset details in their notice board. We are ready to go for negotiation, some rate, you know the government system, then PWD or some engineering cell, they are going to decide the monthly rent or annual rent, they are going to decide. Because these assets we are not going to lease out from the last few years. That's why Honorable Chief Minister sir, he said whatever rate you are getting, you give it to them. Then that notice, that we put it in district collector's notice board. Just all the distinguished guests, I am requesting you, please ask the local people to have a look of that notice board. If that asset is available in that locality, just please come forward, take that assets, nominal rates method, we are going to give it to this. Because the government has agreed, Honorable Chief Minister, so he has already given directions, then we will negotiate and we'll give those assets to them.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I think we have 10 minutes. Madam Secretary, I would like to ask you, now, you know, it's very easy for us to say invest in Sikkim, but you as the Secretary of Commerce know that there are so many levels to negotiate, and you as a senior bureaucrat who's seen so many departments know that there are several tiers to negotiate. How good is the relationship with the center? And how good and how fast is the decision making at their level to see that investment comes to Sikkim sooner, quicker, like the single window that, you know, Gujarat is so proud about or Andhra is so proud about?
See, Karma, we've just started with the single window system, which is integrated with the national single window system, and we've just started for the licensing part. Okay, so that is, we've just made a headway, I can say. That is there, and the relationship with the central government, it's at its zenith, I can say, you know, especially with the Ministry of Donor. Our Honorable Chief Minister is, as you all know, a very popular figure. So the Ministry of Donor has taken the initiative of holding these investment summits for the northeastern states. So we had 7 road shows in the metros, including Ahmedabad, and there we had the road show where we had the B2B conferences, G2B, all those conferences were held where we took our entrepreneurs there, and we also participated in the road show. So that has brought in a lot of people who are interested in investment in Sikkim. So as of now, we have grounded around 22 projects which are in the pipeline. So that is amounting to around 22,000 crores. 2,000 crores. So we are aiming at around 5,000 crores just now. So the main thing which we are focusing on is developing Sikkim into a green investment destination. So we are looking at sustainability, you know. So this conclave, which was held by the Ministry of Donor, it has been a great help to the state. The Honorable Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia himself took the initiative, and he was present in most of the road shows. So that is there, and because of the road shows, as I said, more investors are coming, and questions are being, every day we are flooded with questions, you know. We have emails coming, we have phone calls coming, so things are really looking up. So we want to focus on food processing. That is one area where we feel that Sikkim can really do well. You know, we have our mandarin orange, which is one of the sweetest oranges. Then we have a buckwheat. Then we have the dalle chili, for which it's been GI tagged. So those are the areas, those are the crops which can go for food processing. So there are people who are interested in going into food processing over here. So yeah, I think we are going in the right track, but it's quite early days for us. Besides only looking at manufacturing, we are also looking at a creative economy. Now the creative economy, I feel, that is ingrained in the Sikkimese tradition, in culture, in our dresses, in our food. So the creativity, the innovation that is required to foster the creative economy is very much inherent in being a Sikkimese. For Sikkim being Sikkim, I should say that.
So if food processing is your focus area, then Sikkim Supreme should have been the jewel. What went wrong with Sikkim Supreme?
It went wrong, but now it's coming up. We have just started a food processing unit in the factory premises, that is the Government Fruit Preservation Factory, GFPF, and the brand name is Sikkim Supreme. We had a little bit of problem, the brand, actually Sikkim Supreme is the brand name, the trade name. Okay, the factory is Government Fruit Preservation Factory. So that's why there was a kind of a litigation also recently, but we've cleared that up. So the Sikkim Supreme, it's been there from 1958, right from the days of the Chogels. So we are really trying to revive it. So we have just set up a micro food processing factory over there, and a mini winery factory is also coming up. And I must also say that of late we are getting a lot of prospective investors for microbrewery, looking at the tourism perspective, everything.
Staying with Sikkim Supreme, since we've seen so many of these government-run factories not doing well, shouldn't Sikkim Supreme also be privatized?
As of now, I don't think we should privatize it. It's a heritage property. It's been there since the time of the Chogels. So we are really trying to revive it, and it's coming up really well. You can see the products for yourself. There are new products coming up, and the data will speak, I think.
All the best. All the best to you. One last word to you, Jamal. You've heard our officers speak. As an outsider who's viewed, who's reported on so many of these programs, what does the government of Sikkim need to do to attract investment into the state?
Most importantly, just be proud of the culture that we have here. The uniqueness, the individuality is what's going to stand out. That gets forgotten. There are times we wake up, I travel about 3 weeks a month, and I wake up in a hotel room, I don't know which city I'm in or which country I'm in. Now, if you're going to do these star properties here and they're going to be a replica of anywhere else, it's not going to be great. I can see a sense of pride in Sikkim. I can see my few friends who I have from Sikkim in Delhi and in Bombay, they're more turned out, better turned out than others in the Northeast. And I say that with proof. Yesterday I was sitting at a coffee shop on MG Marg called Craft Theory, if I'm not mistaken. And I met a young person there, and I started chatting. And there was a sense of pride at the fact that there was finally a KFC in Bangkok, in Gangtok last year. And I've grown up in the 90s in Bombay, where the first McDonald's came, or the first Coca-Cola came, and there was a sense of pride, right? I told him a story that instead made him feel proud. I told him about this Sikkimese friend of mine in Delhi who ran a business with his wife, who wanted to start a cafe in 2015, 2016. And he came to me and he said, Jamal, what is going to work? This is the area. It's Saket, it's South Delhi. And he picked my brains. I gave him a few ideas. Some other food journalists gave him some ideas. The only thing I didn't agree with him was that he wanted to call the cafe The Coffee Shop. And I said, that's such a generic name. There are 3 coffee shops in that same complex. Why are you calling it The Coffee Shop? Turns out, The Coffee Shop was a brand name that he had started here in Sikkim. right? And it was the most popular coffee shop on MG Marg, right? His name is Tenzing Gurram. I don't know if I'm going to see him on this trip, but Sikkim has an export in Delhi that is something that Delhi celebrates. So there is a lot for you to celebrate in Sikkim. As you grow, please make sure that that Sikkim spirit is kept alive in everything you do.
Thank you, Jamal. What a perfect way to end our panel discussion, Chairman Sir. We'd like to end the panel discussion now. Key takeaways from Ajoy. I take his advice, that if we are to make people invest in Sikkim, there has to be perfect clarity. So that clarity has to be there for a business owner to understand, not the fly-by-night operators, but true business people to invest in Sikkim. They have to see returns. So we have to show them the returns. From Rao Saab, I take his point that he is fighting for connectivity, and that's one of the things that the head of the tourism department has clearly to fight for. If there is connectivity, tourists come. The numbers are really impressive. Madam Secretary, from you, I take that, heritage has to be saved, but at the same time, you need to get more and more investment. When you said 22,000 crores, I nearly jumped from this seat. But now you've moderated it to 2,000 crores. I think 2,000 crores also, Chairman Sir, is a good number to start with. That's excellent. And finally, from Jamal, I take his point that we have to maintain our distinct identity, our distinct heritage by not becoming what we are not, and then attract investors. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for this talk. Thank you so much.